Hi, and welcome to the latest episode of Mad River Valley Realities. This program is brought to you by our good friends at Mad River Glen, America's only skier-owned cooperative. Today we're talking with Bob Kogut of the Mad River Riders. Good to see you, Bob.
Yeah, good to see you, Eric.
You get us out in the woods here?
Yeah, I
Tell
dragged
us
you out.
where are we at?
Camera crew, yeah.
Where are we at? This is like a secret
we are
location?
We're on a patch of land owned by Aaron Locker, local farmer, I believe. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But he's given us access to build a new trail here, and we're working on that today.
And so tell me a little bit about what the Mad River Riders is.
So the Mad River Riders are a mountain bike club. We are a chapter of the Vermont Mountain Bike Association, which is a statewide group of volunteers that are interested in building trails around the state. So we are our area is the Mad River Valley. So it covers Waitsfield, Warren, Fayston, a little bit of Duxbury.
Great.
And we are dedicated to building trails. Not just for mountain biking, for multi-use, year-round. So running, hiking, walking, biking, a little skiing.
Yeah. So I think like a lot of people don't necessarily know like the trails over at Blueberry Lake are probably like the most well-known ones.
So yeah,
Right?
they're definitely the ones that get the most traffic now. So we've built a little network over at Blueberry Lake. So that's all on Green Mountain National Forest land, and we got approval from the National Forest to build those trails starting 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And we got a network of about 8 miles over there, and heavily used, very popular with
I got to
locals and
tell you, Bob,
visitors.
because one of the things, as chamber director, people come into our offices all the time, and they're always asking, like, the number one question is, hey, we want to go for a hike, we want to go for a walk, we want to go biking.
Yeah.
They're looking for trail access, and so the trails are really an important asset to our community, and you guys are, provide a lot of them. So thank you.
Yeah,
it's
thanks.
really great.
Yeah, so we're up to 58 miles of trails that the riders have built and maintained in the valley, all free to access and all year-round use.
And like you said, and not just for mountain biking, it's good for hiking and walking and.
Yeah, so we've got some. We did a little bit of surveys, a little unscientific surveying, and we estimate about half the people that use the trails are not biking. So half of them are out walking their dog, or birding, or running, and the other half are riding their bikes.
Great. And you guys have a really good relationship with the Mad River Path and the other folks involved with the Trails Collaborative. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So we collaborate with the Path. We're kind of two different organizations, but two symbiotic organizations. So our trails interconnect. We help each other out. We've done some co-proposals together with the Path on new trails. And the Trails Collaborative is yet an even bigger organization that's gotten a lot of folks in the valley together to advocate for trails. And one of the big projects that we are pretty much completed on is the trail signage and mapping project.
Right.
So the riders did a good chunk of work working on that team to do that.
Right. So as you said, people see the big white signs everywhere as the trailheads, and there's something like 60 of them, right?
Yeah, it's 50 something. So there's I think there are like 25 of the really big ones,
Right.
the main kiosks we call them, and then there's another 30 or so of a single post kind of smaller map trail signs.
I mean, in my years here in the valley, I think a lot of the trails, or many of the trails, have been around, but it was a very kind of a locals thing.
Yeah.
And now this is enabling more people to access these trails, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's
It's,
great.
you don't have to know, turn left at the dead maple, and you'll find it through the brush.
Right.
It's
There's still a
easier to
few of those
access.
kind of trails
There are
around,
plenty
right?
of those around too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was curious. So we've got a good crew of people working back here. Who does the work here?
So it's all volunteers. So we raise money sometimes to hire trail building companies, but I'd say the bulk of the work is volunteers that come out and build trails by hand.
And it looks like I know a couple of these guys. So they got their Kingsbury stuff on the back. What's
Yeah,
the story with them?
so Kingsbury just reached out to me and asked how they could help, and this project was good timing. And this is they've got just 12 employees are out all day. They've also got a guy with a excavator spending the whole day
Wow,
doing some heavy work on this trail. So it's great.
Yeah,
Great.
that's huge, and it's great to see local business like Kingsbury's, especially in the height of a busy season for them.
Yeah.
To take the time for the local community. That's really awesome to see. And I notice it's Jimmy Dupre out there and TJ. These are the higher ups here.
Oh yeah. No, we
Right?
got the big wigs. Yeah, around here.
So I know you guys have a big fundraiser going on currently.
We do.
What's
It's
it called?
kind of a
What's it all
secret,
about?
But it's not a secret. It shouldn't be a secret.
Yep.
But it's got a funny name. It's called the Epic Enduro. It's kind of a play on words. And enduro is a mountain bike race where you're going mostly downhill and a little up. But it's not really a bike race. It's a month-long kind of celebration of trails that we've built recently, and it's a way for us to kind of raise attention to our new projects and raise money for our new projects. We get a lot of volunteer labor, but it still costs a lot of money for machine time, materials to build these trails.
So there's a raffle going on.
There is.
So can I win something cool?
You could win some big prizes.
Yeah, like what?
You could win a season pass. You could win 2 season passes. You probably don't need 2, but you could give the other one away.
Excellent. To Sugarbush?
To Sugarbush.
Nice.
Yep. And also a golf pass, several golf passes, a bunch of day tickets, and a shark membership. That's all on there. And then you could also win highly coveted MRV Riders t-shirts, hats, other swag. Better than this one. This is the old version.
Oh, you got a clean one?
Oh, we got clean and clean, a little more stylish. Yeah. Some Lawson's swag as well is thrown in there in the pot. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So good opportunities to win for a good cause, which is cool.
As a kind of a twist, we're also encouraging people to kind of document their adventures out on our trail. So far we've received some video clips, some photos, and a haiku.
And very impressive.
Yeah.
So the website is madriverriders.org?
MRVRiders.com.
Excellent.
Yes.
But the other one that's interesting is, we've been trying to promote at the Chamber the use of MRV Trails, the hashtag MRV Trails. And we're really excited about getting that thing going. So for all of the trails that are going on to start raising awareness.
Okay.
So the riders are responsible for a lot of the trails around here. Can you give a little rough background of where they are and
Okay. Sure. So, the Riders have been, an organization for 30 years. So, like I said earlier, we have 58 miles of trails in the area. So, ones that you may be familiar with are all the trails at Blueberry Lake. They're all on Green Mountain National Forest land, but they were 100% built, paid for, and maintained by our bike club, by volunteers of the MRV Riders. Other big network area, the core of our network, which this new trail is going to link to, is in the Howe block of the Camel's Hump State Forest. So that is
up on Tucker Hill Road.
Off Tucker Hill Road, off Marble Hill Road. So basically all the land in between 117 and the Sugarbush Access Road, that big chunk of land, there are about 40 miles of trails in there. All built and maintained by the MRV Riders, all free for anybody to use.
That's really cool.
So Evolution, Revolution you may have heard of. Those are 2 of the biggest, most popular ones on that area. Down to Cyclone, GS, Clinic, the names go on and on.
Yeah, you guys have lots of good names, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. With what the riders have going on here and with the trail systems up in Waterbury, over in Barry, up in Stowe, can you speak to kind of this nexus of pretty amazing mountain biking around here?
Mountain biking has exploded in Vermont, and it's not just the Riders been building trails, been building, like you said, up in Waterbury, south to us in Rochester, and we're getting close to linking those networks too. I mean, we're going to soon come to the day where you can ride your mountain bike on trails in the woods and just stay in the woods across the whole state if you're that ambitious. So we're working on links north over to Waterbury, and working on links south to Rochester. On trail in the woods.
Yeah, that's really exciting, and it's important, because a lot of people that come, mountain biking and road biking, and it's just another reason that people come to the Mad River Valley. So again, what you folks are doing, the effort that you guys are making, is helping our whole community, our businesses, and everything. So really appreciate what you do.
This is not my day job. My day job is I run a business, an engineering business in town, and one thing is recruiting employees to come out and live in this little town and work, and having assets like a trail system and great mountain biking and great trail running is a reason for people to come in and move here. So, and it's a reason for locals who've lived here a long time to get outside, exercise, enjoy the outdoors, and it's a draw for people coming in spending money. tourists coming in, visiting the valley,
Yeah, I
especially
saw-
in the off season. And our off season is the
Right.
summer, and maybe it's not as off as it used to be. It
Yeah,
seems
and,
to be
in
busy
the
lately.
spring and fall shoulder seasons, I mean, people are still biking a lot
Yeah,
those
definitely.
times of years.
Yeah.
I saw there was a economic impact study that was done about the
Yeah, they
about
did it for Blueberry Lake. So
Thank
they
you.
did put trail counters out there. It was a part of a study that was paid for by the Planning Commission.
yeah. And what were
the
the
Valley
results of
Planning
that?
Commission. Large numbers. You know, you're putting me on the spot to say,
Okay.
but you know, they did a trail count over a 2-week period, I believe, and they counted, you know, and it's in the tens of thousands of people that were visiting
Right.
over, you know, a 2-week period of just Blueberry Lake. They also did it at Revolution, which is the trail that goes from American Flatbread up. And then the economic impact of that was, I'll just say, in the millions of
Yeah,
dollars.
oh, absolutely. I remember. I was
Yes.
like, I was kind of surprised when I saw that. I knew it was
Yeah.
like it was absolutely in the seven figures, which is not
Yeah.
insignificant.
No,
So
no.
it's really important. You know, one of the other questions I had was, there's been a lot of impact for a lot of businesses and organizations with the whole pandemic. How has it impacted the riders?
So it's made things different. So we used to have a good example is that we run a kids mountain biking program on Tuesdays. Like every Tuesday, we've been doing it for about 8 years. And it's to get kids
Mad River
together and ride
Rippers,
together.
right?
Huh?
The Rippers, right?
The Mad River Rippers. Yep. And in all years previous to this year, we'd all meet in one spot. We'd have 40 kids show up with probably another 40 parents. And we'd like split everybody up in this big crowd. We'd all go off and ride off in separate groups. So we figured that probably was not the best practice given the current pandemic.
Yeah.
So we changed the program to, we built a little online sign-up system, and we recruited more volunteers to help us guide rides, and we created a whole bunch of smaller rides. So now rides are capped at 10 people total, including the guide, the parents, and the kids. All outside, socially distanced, masks if you're within 6 feet. But I think it's more fun for me. It used to be everybody in one spot, we'd ride one network. Now it's like we'll have 4 or 5 different simultaneous rides going on a Tuesday. Like I'll take a group over one end of the valley, and another group will be at Blueberry Lake, and it's a great way to get kids and their parents together out riding.
Now, the Mad River Riders is a membership organization, correct?
It is, that's true.
So
Yes.
how many members do you have, and where do they come from?
So we've set a record for membership now. We're up to 611, and that is, you know, to give you some perspective, I'd say about 5 years ago we were maybe 50. So we've been growing a lot, you know, with as our trails grow, and we've gotten more popular, I think.
And what percentage of those 600 plus are in Vermont, or here in the valley?
So just about 50% exactly are locals from the valley, and you know, and then there's another chunk Waterbury and some from the Burlington area. Let's say out of state, we probably get 15%, so quite a few from Massachusetts. I think I counted it up the other day. We got like 11 states and provinces that people are members. One really interesting stat is like 10% of the Waitsfield's population are members of the Mad River Riders.
That's pretty good
Ridiculous.
penetration.
Yeah,
Good
so
for you.
Waitsfield is by far the most, with you know, Moortown trying to catch up.
Excellent. That's my Moortown people. I love it. No, that's great. Well, I really appreciate your time today, Bob. This is really cool. Is there,
Sure.
you know, if people want to get more information about the riders, what should they do?
Well, so they go to our website, which there's a lot of information on there. It's not the most elegantly designed website, but it is informative. And you could join the riders. And just to let you know, when you go there and join it, you are joining VIMBA, which is the state organization, and you pick the riders as your chapter. But VIMBA is an amazing organization that supports us with kind of insurance, advocacy across the
Right.
state, and the money you pay to join VIMBA, when you check the box for the riders, most of it goes to us, and all the money that comes to us gets spent building trails.
Right here.
Right here, right in the dirt.
That's awesome. Bob,
Yeah.
thanks so much for your time. It was really great chatting
Oh,
with
you're
you, and
welcome.
thanks
It
for
was great
getting
to
us out on the trail.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.